Hello, how are you today? Do you want to dive into a book that might just surprise you, whether it becomes your next favorite or one you might skip? Let's find out what readers are saying about it.
Cat Kitty Cat's crazy about books who has 61 likes says. Can also be found on my blog. Kitty Cat's crazy about books. LHISNICS is a mystery. Romantic suspense full-length book by new-to-me author Catherine Cowles. I've seen this pop up on my GR feed a time or two. Not my normal type of read. But hey, I never liked zombie books either. Now look at me, once I one-clicked this. I dived right in, forgot about breakfast. Lunch zoomed by and dinner is a thing in the past. That flew by too. Lol, and I didn't even notice. Other than the rumbling of my stomach anywho. Stating the obvious once I started. I couldn't put it down. It just seemed so effortlessly how easily I was drawn into this book. From the get-go I was hooked. Ridley is a popular true crime podcaster going where the calling takes her. Putting her skills and knowledge to the test and cracking cases wide open. It became personal for her when her sister went missing with no leads and slowly became another cold case statistic. With a feeling deep in her gut, she arrives in the sleepy town of Shady Cove to investigate another cold case. This one also hits close to home due to her sister's own case. She also has a niggling feeling that a serial killer grabbed his first victim from Shady Cove who so happens to be Colt's sister. Oh, how I loved Ridley. How she didn't let tragedy define her. It became her driving force and strength to help others like herself find closure. Colt is the small-town sheriff who constantly suffers from foot and mouth disease. As soon as these two cross paths, he stuffs up. I really enjoyed this one. All those feels wrapped up in a giant knot of wool. The giggles came freely when it came to her over-the-top spoiled cat. The sadness of wanting closure for her twin. The banter between the hero and our heroine definitely brought those grumpy and sunshine vibes. Then both connecting on a higher level when it came to their siblings. This author definitely has a way with words. And I'd really like to read something else by her. If you've got any suggestions, hit me up. Because this won't be the last book I read of hers. Email, Twitter, Instagram, blog, Facebook, Amazon, Pinterest. Aaliyah, who has 64 likes, says. Loss and hurt could turn you bitter, or it could make you appreciate love and life that much more. This was such a beautiful read and experience, as it's my first try with her books and I am excited to read more. The story was so cute and heartfelt. I have a soft spot for plots based around characters that cross paths with someone and end up healing together from their traumas. It doesn't matter how predictable the plot is, it'll always hit. Plot summary: Ridley Sawyer, a true crime podcaster who heads to a small town to investigate an old case that might be linked to her sister's disappearance. That's when she crosses paths with the grumpy but protective sheriff, Colt Brooks. While sparks fly, danger creeps closer, forcing them to work together and maybe heal from the ghosts of their pasts. Poppy Sabrina, who has 33 likes, says. 3-0 I had such high hopes for this one, but I think it really fell flat. I found that I wasn't gripped by this book, or excited to pick it back up at any point. It wasn't bad by any means, just not high stakes or exciting enough for me to be hooked on it. This follows Ridley, a true crime podcaster who visits Shady Cove to try and solve a string of abductions and murders over the last decade, as she believes it's the same person who took her twin sister. It's a small town. Everyone knows everyone's business and people don't take too kindly to her at first. Especially not the Sheriff Colt, who happens to be the victim's older brother. It has really good tropes: grumpy ex-sunshine, small-town romantic suspense, dislike to love. However, I just did not feel connected to Colt or Ridley at all throughout this, and I didn't believe in their initial connection either. I did like Ridley's character. She was so fiery And I liked that about her. But I didn't think the balance of romance and plot worked well. I thought the twist felt so flat. I thought it was going to be something twisty and clever, but it just revealed someone who you may not have seen coming, and that to me felt average. I didn't find the investigating or anything exciting or page-turning. It was a bit slow, I think, for me. Taylor Thomas, who has 16 likes, says, I love this book. SM a mystery and romance book was everything I didn't know I need. The premise of the book was so intriguing I couldn't take my eyes away from the page. It being about a podcaster, Ridley, who solves cold cases whilst trying to solve the kidnapping of her sister 10 years later. And the romance on top of that was everything. Ridley and Colt relationship was everything. Their relationship development was just so real and raw. Seeing them fill the void in each other's hearts was so stunning. Naz, who has 78 likes, says, First Catherine Cowles book. And the way I am hitting myself for not reading her sooner. This was utter perfection. And to those girlies who love mystery, true crime, romance, this one is for you. You have Ridley, a true crime podcaster, who hits up a small town to get into the nitty-gritty of a cold case that may be the missing piece to her true motive, finding out what happened to her twin sister the night she disappeared. What she least expected was meeting the sheriff of the town, Colt Brooks, and, well, you know, fall in love. This book is filled with trauma that Ridley experienced due to her sister's disappearance. But it also shows how resilient she is with her past and how she fights with it every day. But let's not forget Colt. He also has trauma from his own experiences. AKA we see both of them heal. And it's so beautiful and raw, the banter, the tension. And let's not forget the connection between these two really hook me even more into the book. Besides the mystery elements that had me dying to know more. I loved it so much. The author really gave us the best of both worlds with this book. Does this book have spice? Yes. It does so. Read accordingly. Tropes: small town romance, mystery genre elements, FMC true crime. Podcaster XMMC towns sheriff, dislike to lovers, forced proximity-ish, no third act, breakup, grumpy. X Sunshine. Thank you NetGalley and Catherine Cowles for an opportunity to review this book in exchange for an EARC. My first book from Catherine Cowles, and all I heard is amazing things from her. Fingers crossed this one delivers.